order this meeting of Susquehanna Township Board of Commissioners. All commissioners are present, with the exception of Commissioner Fulvolo from the Mighty Sixth Ward. We did meet in executive session to discuss matters of personnel and real estate. At this point, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance followed by a moment of silence. And tonight, we could have our pledge led by Ann Shambaugh.
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. Sorry to show on the spot like that.
It's okay.
It's like Tourette's, it's just a habit. It happens. We'll begin with petitions, complaints, suggestions from citizens. Does anybody wish to address the board tonight?
Hi, my name is Susan Clark-Hyman George. I live on Beaufort Drive, and I've had a couple issues, I guess. The park, Beaufort Park, Hunt Park, the most neglected park in the whole system. I understand it is going to be getting a redo, the grant money. So I went looking for minutes to tell me what was going to happen. And I don't see the June minutes, which somebody explained it probably because they weren't voted on and they're not posted yet. Or they weren't approved, I should say. But I don't also see the May minutes or the April minutes, and looking at the other boards and commissions and things like that, there are a lot of links missing to the minutes. I can get to agendas, but I don't see minutes. Just, I was nosing around, and I'm just curious as why, or who's responsible for that, maintaining that, putting those links up.
Okay. If you can, talk offline to our manager, that'd be
Which is who?
great, which is Teresa Everly.
Okay, great.
There.
The other thing is, July 21st, 2025, I put in a quick fix order for a pothole on our street. It says it was acknowledged and it was sent to the Public Works Department. It is nearly 1 year later. Nothing done. I put in an order on June 8th to address the weeds, the thistles in the playground behind my house, and it was also sent, acknowledged, and then said it was pending, and I followed up with the Doug, Parks and Rec Manager. I had conversations before. I feel like I'm the one that has to, hey, no one's taking care of this park, what's going on? And he said, what? They haven't addressed it yet? Yeah, and that was earlier this week because I stopped in Monday in person. So I will say that the lawn people, they do mow and they do take the weed whacker and they chop down the weeds. However, the weeds are like growing underground. You have to kill them with chemicals. So I'm just a little perplexed as to why some of the issues. Is it me? Is it personal? Are they getting lost in the system?
I don't think weeds have a vendetta, but.
No, but what about the pothole issue from 2025? I mean, the actual storm rate is stinking.
Yeah, we can address that when we talk to Manager Everly and she'll consult with the various.
But the whole point of having this reporting system is, I guess we're supposed to notice and help out everybody and say, hey, look, there's an issue here. You might want to address it, and then not to get any feedback or resolution.
Well, that's the point.
I pay my taxes on time.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I'll take it here from there.
Okay.
I'm the commissioner of the 9th Ward. If you kindly
I'm
said,
8th Ward.
your 8th Ward, okay, regardless, ma'am.
Okay.
We all work for the same township.
Okay.
Me, I will, if you personally send me an email, I'll make sure it gets done for you, okay?
Okay,
All right,
great.
thank you very much.
And there's a larger issue
Honestly-
though, which is communication.
Yes.
Exactly.
I'll look into that.
Yeah.
I understand the issues. I'll look into why they haven't been solved.
I just, little feedback would be helpful.
No problem. Thank
Can you
you.
leave your, Susan,
Yes,
Can you leave your name,
I signed in.
you signed in?
Is there a phone number there, Susan?
No, I did not leave a phone
Anybody else wish to address the board tonight? Hearing none. Move on to approval of minutes.
Mr. President, I'll move for approval of the June 25th, 2026 workshop meeting minutes.
Okay.
Moved and seconded by Commissioner Norford. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is recognitions and presentations. First up is Penway service update. Teresa, you want to kick this off and introduce Ms. Shambaugh?
Thank you, Mr. President. With us tonight is Ann Shambaugh. She's the municipal market manager for Penn Waste, and we've been having regular conversations about our service with Penn Waste. You know, they've been with us for many, many years, and we've had some changes recently, and we work together to try to resolve those. We have complaints that have been coming in, and so Ann's here today to address 4 major ones, I would say, that we have heard from our constituents, and certainly open to any other concerns that you might have. But I think it says a lot that she's here and wants to try to make things better and to give us a sense of what sort of resolution will be happening. So, Ann, if you want to come up to the front and start your overview.
First of all, thank you all so much for allowing me to speak tonight. I really appreciate it. My name is Ann Shambaugh. I'm the Municipal Market Manager with Penn Waste. I have been with Penn Waste since March 16th of this year, so relatively new to the industry. I've spent about 17 years in the municipal world itself in various positions. So I am familiar with the municipal side of the business, and I'm still learning the trash side of the business, if you will. I thought I'd cover a few instances for you all. You are a cart mandated municipality, 96 gallon, 32 level carts, and nothing to be collected outside of the cart. You do have the ability to acquire double service on the trash side. You can purchase an additional toter if you'd like for $55 for the quarter. And you do have 1 bulk item a week that should be called into schedule. So the 4 items that I'd like to talk to you about that I've been speaking to both Teresa and Leanne about over the last 3 months. The first one is bulk item collection and scheduling. It's my understanding that this has been a very difficult period for the residents in having to call into the Penn Waste and schedule when they'd like to have something picked up, even though it's allowed in your contract once a week. We did ask that the scheduling occur because it's easier for our drivers to know exactly where those large items will be and what type of truck we'll need. If we'll need a rear end load or a side load. With your being cart mandated, you do have the automated service truck. So it's the automatic arm, it's only 1 driver. That does allow for reduced costs to the township as well as to Penn Waste. Unfortunately, the ASL is not equipped to pick up some of the larger bulk items. They can pick up some. It's quite impressive to see what they can pick up with the arm. But some of the items are too heavy because on the ASL it has to go up to the side and over. Whereas the rear load, it has a very low entry of about 2 to 3 feet, and you can easily even flip something into it that might be heavier. What we have tried to discuss is better ways to take care of this. Penn Waste has decided that they will be implementing a bulk truck that will run solely in Susquehanna Township and Lower Paxton Township every week. We anticipate the beginning of that in about 2 weeks. There is no additional cost for that. This is just an additional truck that we will have running in the municipality to assist and collect all of the bulk items that your residents call in and schedule. Up until that time, we are going to collect all of the bulk items that are currently out, whether they have a work order in or not. We are going to start sending an additional truck as of next Monday that will follow behind the regularly scheduled trucks and start to collect. Once we get the bulk truck permanently routing through these two municipalities, I will meet with Teresa and Leanne to see how that's going, to see if there are any other issues. We're hoping that with the additional bulk truck being designated solely for these two municipalities, that it will reduce any misses, any oversights, and with a dedicated truck, they'll be here. We know exactly where they are. If something's missed and they're in Lower Paxton, we can easily reroute the truck back over to pick that up as well. That's the first one.
Would you like questions on each one, or do you want to do them all first?
Sure, we can do questions as we go.
So if I've got a bulk item and I call in, what are they going to say? We'll pick it up next week. Does that mean I put it up for all 5 days, or will they say it's going to be picked up on Thursday, or what?
With the ability with this, with having a dedicated truck, if you call into our customer service on a Monday, we can schedule that for Tuesday or Wednesday. It'll be a much quicker turnaround time, less likely to be missed, and it won't be sitting out as long. Because unfortunately, what seems to be happening now is if, say your regular trash day is Tuesday, you would call in on Wednesday, you would probably be told next Tuesday is when we will pick it up. Having a dedicated bulk truck in the facility, in this area in the township, alleviates that. Now that truck will be here all the time, and we can schedule it much quicker. So there's not that lag in waiting. And then if it's missed for some reason, it's not sitting out for another week. It's picked up the next day instead.
So I guess the purpose of calling in is just to let the truck driver know location,
Yes.
specific location. And I also suspect that the drivers of the trash trucks and then communicate with the other drivers or not?
Yes, they do have the ability to communicate.
What about the possibility of, instead of having residents call in, as these drivers go around, they see where stuff is and they can communicate to that truck? Because that seems to be the thing that frustrates people the most, is the calling in to schedule this, whereas I think what we used to do is just set it out and it would get picked up. And then, I don't know, was it a year or 2 years, you probably don't know, that we had to start calling in, and then the return call sometimes wasn't forthcoming, so you just didn't know anything. So I'm just curious if that's something you can look into doing.
I think actually with the addition of the bulk truck being specifically in Dauphin County, I think the need to call in could possibly be eliminated entirely. I think if we can get to the point where these trucks, we know exactly where they are each day of the week, and the residents get accustomed to that and understand, okay, we're here all the time, I think we'd be able to alleviate the need to call in. I know that's certainly what the residents would do.
When the trash collectors ride around, they see that at this address there's stuff, they call that truck, and so that person knows to bid it.
And at this point, the farthest they'd be away is Lower Paxton Township, which is minimal miles, rather than somebody being down in our facility or transitioning over from Cumberland County to come over and pick it up. So it'd be much closer, and the turnaround would be reduced significantly.
Would that possibly eliminate the need to only pick up one item per week? Like, I've always wondered about that since we went to the new system. Like, if you have like a set of 4 chairs, and is that considered 4 items, or you can only do one a week? I mean, how particular are we, and will this new truck help eliminate some of that?
I think the new truck will definitely eliminate some of that. We're looking to have a rear loader in, which again has more capacity, and it has the lower base in the back. So it has the ability to have a much easier time to get things in, and it will have 2 people. So a rear load always has 2, a driver and a loader. So I think that like a set of 4 chairs, we'd consider that one item. Teresa?
So it sounds like we're moving towards not having to formally call.
That is our hope.
Okay, so, when do you think you'll be ready to say, that's a policy you want to?
I think, once we get the truck running, and we'll give it probably a month or so to see how it goes. The summer's a little wonky, for lack of a better term. People are on vacation, kids are going back to school, you have a little bit more, people have a tendency to get rid of things. Maybe get a feel for what it looks like in those first 4 weeks, then we can meet and kind of, and something we're gonna talk about a little later, we'll speak a little better to that as well.
Thank you.
Of course. Anything else? The second one is the carts. We did a horrible job of getting those out to the residents. To say anything else would be fiction. It is my understanding that all residents have received a recycle and a trash cart as of June 27th. What we are hearing now is that the residents are looking to swap the existing carts that they have for a different size, the 96 or the 32. And in speaking to our route supervisor, we're getting approximately a request for about 80 carts a week to be swapped out, which is significant because we only do swap outs and deliveries 1 day a week. It's on Tuesdays.
Is that just in our township, just in Susquehanna Township?
The delivery truck runs in each county 1 day a week. So it's Cumberland, Adams, York, Lancaster, and Dauphin
But you're getting 80 requests from
from
all-
Susquehanna.
just from Susquehanna?
And those are swap outs, so meaning your resident would call in and say, I don't want the 96 anymore, I want a 32. So they'd have to sit the 96 out, hopefully empty, then we would swap it out. We are noticing an influx of calls that residents want a new recycle cart. There's nothing wrong with the one that they have, but they want a new one because they now have a new trash cart. Unfortunately, our drivers have been instructed not to replace that unless the cart itself is damaged, because that's just a waste for us and for you as well. So what we're working on with the cart exchanges is, I have been told that we will have a dedicated truck coming within the next 2 weeks that will take care of all of the existing and outstanding swap requests that are on the books under work orders. And I will have that complete list for Teresa on Monday, so that if any of those residents are to call in and ask about it, or if something happens and they don't get one, we can certainly let her know and update her on what is on that list. Because like I said, if the cart is in good shape, we will not swap it out.
Ask you a quick question, and I think you addressed this already, but the 96 cart, I fill that thing every week I fill it, okay? If I go over that, I can call you up and say, I know I'm going over, I want to set out another can, but I have to pay for that, right?
That's correct.
$55.
You have the ability to purchase a second cart for double service.
I only need it one time. Like say I only need it, my trash pickup is Wednesday. I know I'm gonna have more than what I did, because I'm cleaning out my garage on Saturday. So Wednesday comes around, you know, I know I'm gonna have extra can. Can I call in and say, hey, I'm gonna have extra can, can you guys pick it up? Go ahead and charge me the $55. Is that a one-time pickup, or is that, I'm paying for the $55 for the quarter?
For the quarter.
So I get four pickups, right?
12.
I get 12 pickups.
Oh,
If you get double service, we will deliver you a second
Oh,
96.
Okay, and then you'll pick it, okay.
And you can have that as long as you want it.
I'll use it for 1 quarter and you come pick that big can back up.
If
Right?
you tell us you're done with that, we absolutely can.
Okay, I love it.
At this time, there are 18 residents that have the double service.
Okay. Thank you.
Any questions about the cart debacle?
Cart debacle.
The second one is cart service only. Since you are a mandated township, anything outside of the carts should not be picked up. That's the point of having the automated truck, is that it picks up the toter, dumps it, and it keeps going. It doesn't have to pick up anything on the ground, it doesn't have to pick up any additional bags. If you do have the double service, it will pick up both. Up until this point, we have struggled, we, Penn Waste, have struggled with whether or not to pick it up or whether or not to leave it. We talked with Teresa and Leanne when I first started. In fact, I think it was the third day I was there, about what to do. Because on one hand, you don't want the trash left unsightly, rodents, everything else can cause a problem. But at the same time, your contract requires that everything be in those carts. We are recommending that the deadline and drop dead date be August 1st, and that Penn Waste will absolutely not pick up anything outside of the carts as of August 1st. Because up until now, the carts weren't delivered, so the drivers didn't know, did you have a cart and you're not using it, or did you not have your cart yet? So in an effort, they were attempting to try and pick up as much as they could, and they would get told, don't pick those up because it has to be in the cart. So there was a lot of miscommunication internally on Penn Waste side, and in trying to work with the township, we kind of fumbled a few things in that if the carts aren't delivered, we can't hold you to having things in the cart. So, but with all of those being held, and with the swap outs to be completed that are outstanding within the next 2 weeks, that takes us up to August 1st, where effective then, Penn Waste will only be picking up what's in the cart, which is in line with your contract. Does that date work for you? We can push it back if it doesn't.
Works for us.
But
Excuse me, I have a question. It's an anomaly. Yeah, so right now we're talking about individual properties, bulk in items and cans and things like that. Township has a lot of properties that have high-density housing, apartments and condos that are, the whole property is one big private property. So if you're in an apartment complex, you've got a dumpster or several dumpsters. And not asking for an answer right now, but to bring it up as part of the conversation. Property management under those circumstances may or may not be good. There may not be anyone on site to make sure that the dumpsters are properly addressed. If obviously a driver or even a crew probably can't go out and with their bare hands take another dumpster that's just on the ground, just because the dumpster's full and people are just putting trash bags next to the dumpster. That's a very difficult proposition for anybody. My concern is that it's all private property, so it's a code enforcement issue at some point. There may not be someone to resolve it that week on property. And Penn Waste is, you guys are dodging trees and power lines on properties that may or may not be well maintained, plus residents who really don't care. They're just dumping things in the dumpster, and if the dumpster's full, well, they're putting it next to the dumpster. I'm not saying I have an answer, but if you could consider how to solve those problems, maybe helping us with thoughts about requiring extra dumpsters on properties, or telling us what you're seeing in other communities, other neighborhoods, where there are similar problems, maybe high transient populations. It's just that there are neighbors who are trying to be good neighbors by properly disposing of their trash And then other neighbors who don't care, they're just dumping trash on the ground next to the dumpster, which has a Penn Waste name on it. And you guys come along and maybe you can dump it, and maybe you can't because of obstructions. I'd like to throw that out for the conversation, because we have good residents who are so inclined to want nice neighborhoods, but they don't know what to do. Calling Penn Waste may not solve the problem. Calling the township may not solve the problem. What solves the problem is people putting trash in dumpsters.
I'm wondering if in some of those locations, if we can dump those higher use dumpsters more than once a week.
It's worth a conversation. It's just that I know we have a contract, and the contract may not consider all alternatives. And I'd like to open the conversation for options.
I mean, I know that when you have a dumpster, you're billed based on the tonnage. You're billed based on a monthly fee for having the dumpster there, but your largest fee associated with those dumpsters is the tonnage that is required from that dumpster. So if you pick it up 1 ton a week, but have overflows
Right.
all the time, it would stand to reason that we should either increase the size of it or pick it up more often. If it's a case where we need to pick it up a Tuesday, Friday, or a Monday, Thursday, something to alleviate that overflow and the sites. So I can work with Teresa to get a list of those areas, and I can have our drivers take a look and see what they recommend.
I'm putting Leanne on the spot. She knows exactly what I'm talking about.
You do.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And I did want to let you know that Maggie, our route supervisor, she's been with Penn Waste for a very long time. She currently has a very good relationship with both Teresa and Leanne. She has worked with the drivers to even attempt to reroute some of the trash routes. Not that the dates would change, but the routes that the trucks take to make it more efficient. And once that bulk truck comes in, then that ASL truck doesn't have to worry about picking the bulk up. That quickens their time, because it's literally grab, dump, replace, keep moving. And then the Corrados that are in, the larger trucks that have 2 people on them, they can continue to do their route. So you might see the routes moving a little quicker than they were once the bulk truck gets in. She currently has a full set of dedicated drivers and loaders that are assigned to Susquehanna. So we're hoping that that too ends some of the misses and some of the oversights on recycling and trash, because when you have regular drivers and loaders, if the driver's off but the loader's there, the loader can say, hey, Ann, this one, we gotta get this one, we gotta go back around because this is a special one, or hey, we missed this street because we got sidetracked. So I did want to let you know that Maggie is trying to really focus on the municipality and its residents, and to make sure that we're getting everything that we can, and to reduce the number of these misses and reduce the number of complaints and things that you're hearing. And the last one is the missing routine collections, trash, recycle, yard waste. Summers are very difficult in the trash industry. Unfortunately, the drivers are hard to find to begin with. The loaders they have the thankless job of hanging off the back, hopping off, hopping back on. Summer vacations, everybody wants to take them, and unfortunately, a lot of our route supervisors get pushed into the actual routes themselves. I think Maggie was in the township yesterday, collecting in one of the trucks. So with her developing, again, that specific set of drivers and loaders that are assigned, we're hoping that even when the swing drivers, and the swing driver for us is anybody who can do a different route on any given day. So we can pull them from whatever route they normally do, and they can step right into a different one. Even with those, we're hoping to to be able to just focus and say, okay, the loader's got it, we know where we're going, even if the driver gets sidetracked. Same with the driver, if the loader's different, he knows, hey, this is where we're going. They stop occasionally, they have lunch breaks, they use the restroom so they can regroup. Hey, we missed this road over here, let's get back and take it. So we are looking at when a driver reports a problem during their route. Currently, it's reported to our dispatch and to the route supervisor. So if it's excess, or if it's, hey, we're showing that a bulk item should be out, but there's nothing here. Depending on the issue, it can be as simple as the route supervisor or dispatch reroutes another truck if something is missed. Or it could be, we need to call the resident and let them know that that bulk item or whatever they had out can't be picked up by two individuals. Because that is the only restriction on the bulk item, it must be able to be picked up by 2 individuals. So in that case, our customer service department would reach out to the resident and say, Ms. Shambo, that piece was too big, so you either break it down for us, or you're gonna have to find some other way to get that removed. And then last but not least, we were thinking that it would be beneficial to provide the township with a list every month of work orders that have been submitted from the residents, so that any calls that you get that are not routed to us, or calls that you do receive and are routed to us, we can then coordinate and say, okay, when was this received? How quickly were we able to address it? And hopefully we can prevent and get in front of larger problems, or get in front of them before they become larger problems.
So, Ann, I represent 20% of your customers. That's the people that get their trash picked up on Friday, okay? And I just want to share with you a couple of experiences that I've had, and so have a lot of the other people. I put the trash out on Thursday night, and for whatever reason, it doesn't get picked up on Friday. When do I bring the can in? Who do I call? Because you're not there after 4 o'clock on Friday. So I don't know whether to bring the trash can in and you're gonna pick it up on Saturday, or whether you're gonna pick it up the next Monday, and there's no one for me to call to talk to on Friday. This becomes an issue because I don't know what to do, and I do occasionally go away on the weekend, so I guess my question to you is, I can't talk to anyone until Monday. Okay, I did have the instance where I put the trash can in, I was going on Saturday, so when I called, they said, oh, it got picked up on Saturday. How the hell was I supposed to know that? How can you work with 20% of your customers?
Let me speak to the route supervisor and find out if going forward, are they going to collect any misses on a Friday route on Saturday, or are they gonna push them to Monday? Because I think it needs to be consistent. You can't go back and forth, and I could understand if there's a weather issue that pushes everything back a day or something like that. But Friday is a very specific route, and
That's why I said I represent 20% of your people. And by the way, when there's a holiday, and there's quite a few holidays that are on Monday, so everything gets pushed one day. Now we're dealing with Saturday.
which is also yard waste.
Which is, well, it's also the yard waste day. I've had yard waste issues too, but that's not quite as bad. I just throw it in Steve's garage. So, but, no, I think the point I'm getting to is hire somebody to work on Saturday so we get somebody to talk to. I mean,
We do actually, like our drivers, we have specific routes that we run on Saturdays. Unfortunately, there's no one in the customer service department, but there are people in dispatch. I can make sure that I will find a solution for that for you, because it doesn't stand to reason that you shouldn't have it picked up, because it's our fault for not picking it up, it's certainly not yours. And I would rather get a consistent answer for you that says, going forward, if we miss it on Friday, put it out Saturday, or put it out on Monday. That way you know, and that way the 20% of the people that you represent also know, and they're not guessing. And the stuff's not sitting out until Monday or longer, so.
That's fair enough, thank you.
You're welcome.
And for the 20% of your customers, thank you.
You're welcome. Now, what can I do about the yard waste? You said you had yard waste concerns too.
Well, you missed my whole neighborhood one day. And that's Laurel Point. Leanne sure knows about it. So, and I mean, that's going to happen occasionally. But again, there was no one to call. The yard waste is not quite as bad. I mean, there is. I mean, we just take it back in and bring it back out the next time. But so.
But still, I hate
Thank you.
this.
Hey, thanks for being here, by the way.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I left you little notepads so we could talk trash, but
Frank usually comes up with those things.
Dad jokes?
Hey, you get one.
that's all right.
You get one.
One for me.
Do you solve water issues? You do a good job, a great job of correspondence for the drag. I was just concerned whether or not you worked in the water industry.
I did not.
Oh, okay, all right,
I did work in the sewer, on the sewer side though.
okay. We'll call you. Thank you.
You're
So does
welcome.
anybody else have any other questions? Good.
I just had one question on the bulk item, and I did have a resident in my ward that put something out, and she lives alone, and she got some friends to help her take it out, and when your guys got there, they said it's too big. Is there some way to qualify what's too big before she took it out, and then your guy said, well, you'll have to cut it in half, and she had no way to.
Oh. Yeah, I can certainly work on some dimensions and some weights and things, and I can work up a flyer that you can distribute to the residents. That way everyone knows, and it provides a little better guidance and guidelines.
Well, as a general rule, it sounds like, I mean, if it takes more than 2 people to carry it out to your front yard, you're probably in trouble.
Right. I mean, we have a lot of young loaders. I honestly couldn't do that job. I did the ride along, and that was bad enough. The mother in me was panicking because he's hanging off the back. They're like, he's fine. I'm like, are you sure? Because he shouldn't be back there. But it does, I mean, I've seen the driver had to get out a few times and help. So,
Anybody else?
Just let the record note, you didn't refer to my jokes, Frank.
Okay, yeah,
Mine are funny.
they're not dad jokes. They're more like great uncle jokes.
fun uncle.
Fun.
Well, if you all.
Teresa, anything else?
No, thank you very much, you covered that.
Yeah, I'd like to
Follow
thank
up
you on
on.
behalf of the board for coming and addressing these questions, and thank you for offering some possible solutions for some of the issues that we raised. And sorry, you, if you can come back in a few months.
Absolutely, I'd love to.
Teresa and Leanne, and get you on the schedule. and
Well,
update.
we could even set up I can come back once a quarter.
Okay.
And if there's nothing that's, pressing, you can tell me all's good. If there are issues that we need to address, hopefully not, we can address those too, but I have no problem coming in. Thank you all so much, I really appreciate it. Fun facts, a trash truck empty weighs 30,000 pounds and can weigh up to 72,000 pounds when it's full. So don't drive around them. Because it's really hard for them to stop. It takes 2 football fields if they're going 50 miles an hour to stop it if it's full. So, fun facts. But thank you all so much, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yes, likewise.
Thank you so much.
Great job.
Thank you, yes. Thank you so much. It's nice meeting all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on the agenda, reports of committees, buildings and grounds. Commissioner Norfolk.
The only thing I have to report is that the police department is almost 100% moved into the recently revamped headquarters next door. Correct, Chief?
We've started moving back, yes, but we're not anywhere near 100%. But that's the goal by the end of July.
That's in the report.
All right, thank you. Budget and Finance, Commissioner Sanderson.
Yes, thank you. We're making good progress. Halfway, this is where we are in the year. We've taken a look at our revenue and our expenses, and the good news is that compared to last year, we are almost $800,000 ahead in terms of receipts than we were a year ago. And the accounting system is working very cleanly, and our staff is really on top of all of our transactions. So the good news is, I think that we're not under a lot of fiscal distress. And the better news is that we've had some conversations, the committee's had some conversations about what to expect for this year's budget. We're following the normal procedure. We've got, I think, 8 budget meetings scheduled. We may not use all of them. But keep in mind, generally speaking, we're trying to address some large issues this year that we don't actually have an answer for yet. It will take some time regarding emergency services and other general large picture projects like Parks and Rec. So it's the year of big ideas. And we're having good conversations with department heads, with township administration, and the people who make the township run every day. That's all I have for now.
Thank you. Public Works, Commissioner Napper.
Yes, Mr. President. The Susquehanna Township Public Works Department played a key role in responding to several thunderstorms that struck the area several days after back-to-back storms over the 4th of July weekend. These storms brought heavy rains, hail, high winds causing widespread damage across the township, including downed trees, blocked streets, and power outages affecting over 1,000 homes. The Township Public Works team worked alongside with emergency responders from our police and fire department to clear debris and restore access to blocked streets. The Public Works Department mission is to maintain township infrastructure and respond to weather conditions was put to the test, with crews working quickly to restore normal operation. Public Works team cleared storm drains and ensure safe passage for our residents and emergency vehicles. Governor Josh Shapiro held a briefing at the Pennsylvania Emergency Management (PEMA) headquarters located in Susquehanna Township, confirming that the fierce storm results in 3 fatal statewide and ranked among the top 10 most impactful storm events ever tracked by PP&L, Electric Company. As our community begins to restore from the severe weather over the weekend, the township is dedicated to helping residents clear away storm damage as quickly and safely as possible. And as the final note, Mr. President, a huge thank you to everyone who stepped up, checked on their neighbors, and lent a helping hand during this tough time. That community spirit makes all the difference, and this ends my report, sir.
Good report. Thank you. Health and Sanitation, Commissioner Hisro.
No report.
Admin and Personnel, Commissioner Napper.
Yes, Mr. President. The Admin Personnel Committee met and held a meeting on June 23rd. The committee reviewed and updated the draft of the newly revised organizational chart. We also established timelines for upcoming mandatory annual harassment training, which will be held August 4th through the 6th of this year. Attendance is highly encouraged for all staff, commissioners, and active board members. The committee reviewed and evaluated multiple potential job title changes to better align the changes with the market standard and team scope. The Director of Human Resources reviewing and revising employee performance evaluation form. And the next step is to finalize the organizational chart showing the approved job title notification and performance evaluation, which will be distributed ahead of the next admin personnel meeting. As a final note, Mr. President, Susquehanna Township is looking for a part-time park assistant to help clean up our parks and assist the community throughout the season. This role offers this role offers 15 to 20 hours per week and requires availability in the evenings from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. as well as weekends from 7:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's a great opportunity for someone who enjoys working outdoors and being a part of space and brings the community together. This ends my report, sir.
Awesome, thank you. Police, Commissioner Engel. You long that?
No, I can't comment that, no report.
Fire EMS, Commissioner Isra.
Yes, Mr. President. The Public Safety Committee meeting that was scheduled for next week is being postponed. The date of August, hopefully, the Live-In Academy is slated for August 9th to the 14th. This coming Sunday, they'll be attending the Oliver Open House at Fort Hunter Park. This foundation gives grants of AEDs to parks, and some Dauphin County parks will be the new recipients. And on July 20th, Rescue Fire will be helping with the summer day camp as part of fire prevention talk and rain event. That concludes my report.
All right, thank you. Planning and Zoning, Commissioner Rothrock.
No report.
Thank you. School Board, Commissioner Cross.
No report.
Authority, Commissioner Sanderson.
I don't think we have anything to report, do we? Did I miss something?
New truck,
No.
Yeah, new truck.
No.
vacuum.
Vector truck.
Yeah. Oh, well,
I should do the sewer report.
come on up and tell us about the sewer truck. I wouldn't do it justice.
Run pass option. Steve, you give a report.
So I don't have my notes in front of me like the other night, but we are under budget. We did place the order today. We sent the signed copy over to the company that we are purchasing the piece of equipment from. We are purchasing the piece of equipment from US Municipal at $548,000, and we are under budget.
Thank you very much.
What are we buying?
Back truck, color back truck. Thank you.
That's all. Thank you.
Great report, thank
I did my best.
you. All right, Shade Tree, Commissioner Cross.
Yes, Mr. President, the next meeting of the Shade Tree Commission will be on Thursday, July 16th. And that ends my report.
Okay, thank you. Communications, Commissioner Floda's not here. Gary, do you have anything?
No, sir.
Okay. I noticed we have another newsletter coming up, and the deadline copies we just distributed. 28, I believe.
Yes.
Copy.
The deadline's coming up very quickly, I feel. Do you have a know what the deadline
July
is?
28th is the deadline for the newsletter.
Yeah, July 28th.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Human Relations, nothing there?
No report.
All right. Parks and Rec, Commissioner Paloma, anything else to add? Manager Ambrose?
Yes, sir.
All right, moving on to public hearings. Well, I'll turn it over to Solicitor Mr. Miller to run the public hearing.
Yes, Mr. President, thank you. Now is the time and place that's been set for a public hearing on ordinance 2026-05 of the Township of Susquehanna, Dauphin County, Pennsylvania, to amend the existing massage establishment ordinance found in Chapter 13, Part 4, in its entirety, and provide for the severability of the provisions therein. I'll call Mr. Breach to the microphone, but broadly speaking, this comes in 4 sections. It requires licensure of massage establishments, and it is as we've discussed previously, long-needed update of an ordinance that was probably targeted at something different than where we are at now, where we have viable businesses performing those services for residents. Mr. Breach, before we take testimony from anybody who's interested, do you have any additional comments about this ordinance?
Thank you, Solicitor Miller. First off, I'd like to note that this public hearing has been properly advertised in the Patriot News newspaper general circulation.
I was going to get there, but okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
It's
say
okay, no, it's all right. Now you want to go to law school.
Yeah, just a few items on this. I'll be brief. I know this has been in front of the board many times. First off, I would like to say that this ordinance has been revised pretty extensively based off stakeholder feedback. I'd like to personally thank Ms. Benbow, Mr. Thomas, and Ms. Friedman, who are in the audience tonight, who we have conducted extensive outreach with. I'd also like to thank Ms. Camille Bachman, who is not here tonight, who's also been a valuable resource. We hosted a outreach session in May. We did a tour of Ms. Friedman's facility, which was lovely. So we really it was an exchange of information on both sides, and it was really beneficial to learn about some of the businesses we have in the township. So at this point, I mean, I think the content of the ordinance has been, discussed at length with the commissioners. At this point, if the board were to adopt the ordinance, the plan for staff would be to come back next month to amend the fee schedule to be in line with this updated ordinance, and then we would start administering the program from there. We still need to figure out the exact structure of it, kind of with our other regulatory programs, but that would be the next step from here. I'm happy to answer any questions, but that's all I have at the moment. There will certainly be more outreach once the program gets going. Thank you.
Commissioners, do you have any questions for Mr. Breach? Hearing none. Are there any members of the public, because this is a public hearing, who would like to step up to the microphone and offer any testimony or comments? This is not.
Hello, I'm Rachel Benzo, 3540 North Burgess Avenue, Suite 106. Thank you everybody so much for all your hard work. It is beautiful, so much better than it was. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm actually just here just to make a suggestion that I understand by talking to Mr. Breach that it wouldn't be implemented at this time, but just wanted to bring attention to the title itself, Susquehanna Township Massage Establishment Regulations or Ordinance. Since acupuncturists, Reiki practitioners, other holistic practitioners being included, it might be to the benefit of the township to change the title to make it such that it's more inclusive of these other practices, because it's very confusing. And I could easily see acupuncturists, Reiki practitioners, etc., coming off with the initial, but I'm not a massage therapist. So a suggestion would be Susquehanna Township Integrative Wellness Establishment, or maybe Health Wellness Establishment. Or integrative is a really good word to use because, just so you are aware, according to the Mayo Clinic, it covers all aspects of your health and well-being, including the physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental. And it's an approach to healthcare that includes practices not traditionally part of conventional medicine, such as herbs, supplements, meditation, wellness, coaching, acupuncture, massage, movement, resiliency, nutrition, Reiki. So integrative would probably be a good term. Health, I leave it up to the township what you might want to use there. I know as a massage therapist, we're not supposed to say health care practitioner because somehow that makes us a medical practitioner, but to say a health practitioner is okay. Semantics. So again, health or maybe wellness. So yeah, integrative health or wellness establishment is my suggestion. Thank you again so much for everything.
Appreciate your testimony. I will point out, as I know Mr. Breach has already pointed out that at this juncture, it would be unwise for us to amend the title today. I would have to do that sometime in the future. Is there anyone else who wishes to provide comment or testimony? Just identify yourself.
Sure, Ian Thomas, also 4540 North Progress, Suite 106. I also wanted to say, the last time I was up here, I was very frustrated, and I apologize for coming out that way. Mac has done a wonderful job at communicating, and I just wanted to come up here to show my testimony for Mac and his work that he's done. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Is there anybody else? Hearing none. As Mr. Breach indicated, this ordinance was properly advertised. We will make the advertisement part of the record of this hearing, and the court reporter will be directed to make it an exhibit to the transcript. Commissioners, is there anything else before we close the hearing? Okay, the hearing's closed. We'll move on to the next hearing.
Thank you, Commissioners.
For that, we'll need the fire marshal. This is the time and place set for, I feel like Ernie Banks, let's play two. This is time and place set for, you're not the only one who could do dad jokes. Time and place set for ordinance 2026-03, designated the official fire and rescue service providers for Susquehanna Township, establishing a structure of leadership and oversight, and providing this so there is a funding mechanism. This ordinance has been previously discussed by the board. It is a document which broadly sets forth creates the township's fire and rescue services, including the public safety director, the fire chief, and then the volunteer services. It is also requires the chief and director of public safety to prepare and submit an annual budget to the township as a request to seek adequate funding, and if my understanding, if passed, this ordinance would allow the fire and rescue services to seek additional grant funding, which is probably the most important reason for passing the ordinance. This, by the way, hearing has been also properly advertised, and the advertisement will be made a part of the record by the court reporter, and the manager will provide that advertisement to the court reporter for that purpose. And I called to the stand the Fire Marshal George Treese. Mr. Treese, if you have any additional comments, please do add them.
Excellent job, sir. Just the only side note is that it should be noted that Rescue Fire Company has been providing the fire service for Susquehanna Township since 1950, which is 76 years. And Progress Fire Company is providing the services to Susquehanna Township since 1928, which is 98 years. So it's a continuation of the services to Susquehanna Township, as well as the opportunity for grant funding at the state level and some federal levels, where the resolution from the 80s did not apply, wasn't applicable to that work.
Yeah, thank you. Is there anybody else who would like to provide comments or questions from the commissioners before we close the hearing? I do want to point out, as the fire marshal has already pointed out, that as he's educated me over the last couple of years, the township has a proud tradition of, I think, creating more full-time firefighters through your live-in program than I think anybody else in Dauphin County. And it's a tradition in this township to have strong fire. This provides a structure that has kind of existed in fact, but now will exist in law. So it's helpful as we try to modernize the fire service. With that, unless there is anything else, I will close this hearing. Thank you, Fire Marshal. Mr. President, the gavel is yours.
All right, thank you. Bang up job, Susan. All right, moving on in our agenda, ordinances, resolutions, subdivisions, and land development. Number one, is the ordinance that was just subject of public hearing, that is dealing in place, ordinance amendment, chapter 13.4, massage establishment regulations of the municipal code.
Mr. President, I'd like to move for approval of this ordinance with a proposed clarification, non-substantive amendment in the definitions to include a definition for the word shall, a one-sentence definition that just indicates that it's mandatory in all instances, which is consistent with a number of ordinances we've adopted recently for clarification purposes to avoid possible issues coming up in the future. I would note that the word shall is used extensively in the ordinance, and it would just help to have that clarification.
Right, okay. Yes, thank you. We'll need a second.
Second. All right, so seconded by Commissioner Engel. So you're saying replace the word shall with the word will?
Well, no, I'm saying just have a definition for the word shall, saying that it's mandatory in all instances. We've done that recently, I think in the trash ordinance, and there were several other ones. Just to clarify, because there's been court cases in the past where courts have interpreted shall different ways, but this way it makes it clear that when we're using it in this ordinance, it's mandatory in all instances.
I don't think that's a problem, but I would direct Commissioner's attention to section 402, the first paragraph of the ordinance. The last sentence of that first paragraph says the word shall is always mandatory.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
So,
There's in there. I missed that because I was used to seeing it as a separate definition.
well, you know.
So I'll retract that and just move for approval.
All right then.
Moved, seconded? Second. Moved and seconded by Commissioner Engel. Any comments or questions? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you for your work on this, too. Appreciate it. It's been, what's it been? 6 months, 8 months?
Last year.
Yeah. All right, next up is ordinance 2026-03, designated as Commissioner Priest just mentioned, the official fire and rescue service providers for Susquehanna Township, establishing a structure of leadership and oversight, providing funding. As Commissioner Dries just explained in the hearing himself prior to this consideration.
So moved.
Moved and seconded by Commissioner Cross, seconded by Commissioner Engel. Comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, staff reports. Township Manager.
Thank you, Mr. President. My report as submitted, just wanted to make 2 comments. Just a reminder that Parks and Recreation Professional Day is July 17th at Veterans Park from 6 to 8. There'll be ice cream and crafts and a lot of games, so hopefully everybody will attend. Not in my report, but just wanted to talk briefly about the new tax collection group, Keystone. It's added some confusion to the residents, but we no longer are with J.P. Harris, so if you're getting a bill from Keystone, it is a real bill. It's not fake, it's not a scam. We are going to be adding some FAQs and some information to the website, so if you're getting calls or questions about Keystone, if you want to direct them to the website, I believe there will be a lot of good information on the website. That's the end of my report, sir.
Thank you. Public safety. Do you have anything?
I do, very, very briefly, Commissioner. So Saturday when that storm hit, I was actually at Front and Market Street with the county SWAT team because we were assigned to the fireworks, and I thought, as it was coming across the river, that I was at the nexus of the universe, because it was coming hard and fast and dangerous. I just want to comment, thank you to the members of the A platoon, Corporal Demetrius Glenn and all his officers did a tremendous job. We had officers from C platoon hold over. Fire service, progress, and rescue were phenomenal, and Director Meese and his folks were phenomenal. And I just want to define it as, for all of you, I know that it's the expectation that you have of us that we meet, and those three departments working together in that environment is unity of effort. And I'm just proud to be part of them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
All right. Public Works, do you have anything?
I do not, I think Chief summed it up pretty well.
Next up is engineering. Got anything?
Board has my report. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions of the engineer? Okay, Law Bureau.
Nothing for me.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Parks and Rec. Anything new there? I think we've got some reports tonight to cover, probably. And fire, Commissioner Grease, Marshal Grease. Steve, please.
Quickly, don't give them any ideas.
No comment. I can't do it as eloquently as Director Martin, but thanks for all the efforts that everybody did during the storm. Also, I'd like to thank all the public safety assets and regional partners who participated in the Big Boy Train event from Tuesday. Thankfully, our incident action plan was only utilized on a limited basis. There was a vehicle rollover in the north end of it and a head laceration. And outside of that, our personnel assisted in helping over 8,000 people that came into Susquehanna Township to see the train. And we luckily averted a lot of things that could have happened. A lot of times, we usually don't see the misses at all. And that was an excellent thing. One last thing that Director Martin doesn't know about. There was a motor vehicle accident in the 4th or 5th ward, or 5th or 6th ward, sorry, that had 2 elderly people in it. The vehicle had to be towed. The one person was in walking distance and could walk there. The other person didn't have their cane, and she needed assistance to walk a block and a half. Officer Neely from the police department offered to walk her back. He walked her back up to her steps, up the steps, and made sure that she got into her house. Those are the kind of things that the police department does, fire does, and our public works people do that are never seen. And I was told about this yesterday, and I figured this is a good time to acknowledge public safety, public works, as well as Officer Neely. So thank you. And, that concludes my report. My 3 minutes on.
Thanks, George. All right, old business, we don't have any. New business, we have a consent agenda. There are 3 items. One is to approve a statement of bills for June of 2026. Next up is approve Travis Meese as Director of Public Works, effective July 10th, 2026. You ready? All right. Next up is approve Julian Gomez as the Police Pension Board Representative, effective July 10th, 2026. Is there a motion?
Approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Commissioner Rainey.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Net. Questions or comments?
Yeah, I'd like to congratulate Travis. Well deserved. Thank you.
So I wasn't gonna speak, but I'll speak real quick. I'm not the one that actually gets all the credit. It's everybody else down there that does all the work. And I'm just happy to represent them. Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you. The timing is good. That's great. Any other comments or questions before we vote? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda passes. unanimously. Commissioner comments, anybody? Sean?
Motion to adjourn.
Moved and seconded by Commissioner Rainey. First reading of adjournment. Local government.
Some things never change.
All in favor?
All right.